Hey guys, this is Deborah. Today I'm going to fix this page that I didn't like. So the pink and yellow are coming through from the background of the page that I did originally, and I've covered it with white gesso and added down some white cheesecloth and also this book page technique. And now I'm going to go ahead and fix it. So I'm probably just going to lay a bit more of this these background things down first, and I was doing that with my gloss gel medium gloss, only because I bought this for something and I did use some of it, but I thought I'd use a bit more of it up because I've got this whole jar of it and it'll stick. Just that's what I stuck the this down with, and also the cheesecloth down with. But I just thought I might fill some of these gaps with a little bit of this, just for a bit of an extra texture. I could use a brush, but I'm just going to wipe this over the tissue paper because it'll stick it down fine. And I'm going to put this one maybe over this side here. So I'm just using my palette knife to go in and stick this down. You can see that the edges of this are all raggedy from where I was tearing it apart. And because paper and tissue paper doesn't tear real well if you're tearing it against the grain. It's like everything else, and grain on this tissue paper was around the other way, so that's why it's ended up like it is. I don't mind if it goes a bit crinkly. And I'll put this other piece down too. So just basically I'm creating, you know, some layers in the background. I might actually put this over this side. So now I've got that down, the next thing I'm going to do is just use some paint. It's already got this sort of yellow and pink hue to it because of the stuff that was underneath at the very beginning that I wanted to cover up. So I'm just wondering if I can put it, sort of enhance that a bit more. So I'm just using the Diane Reevely Delusions paint on here. And the reason that I've got this on here is because that's my little sponge when I want to sponge these things, and I've just stuck a Velcro dot on there. I've got a video about that you can go and look at. Shows you how I do that, both on my well, I did the video on my stamps, on my stamp ink pads, but I've just decided the other day that it would also work really well on my paint pots. So if you're somebody who uses sponge on with your paints, then it's also something you could do, so that you don't mix up your different paint sponges and you've always got one on there. So I'm just using my palette knife here just to put some colour over this page, and I'm just picking up really what's on the palette knife against the rough edges that are on here with the gauze that I put down earlier. It's not really muslin, it's more of that medical gauze stuff. So I'm really just picking it up. I probably should wait until some of that's dry where I've put other things on top of it. Who's got time to wait, you know? There's too many pages, too much art journaling to be done to wait for things to dry. And yeah, I could have dried it off with the heat gun or something, but I don't want to get the heat gun out right now. It's way too hot in Brisbane to get the heat gun out. So I've just laid down some of that, and then I'm going to get my paper dolls out. Now before I do that, I might cut a bit more of this, or a bit of this, this is actually muslin I've got here, and I'm wondering if I can cut some of this to create a bit of a background on here. Now this is the muslin, and I'm just going to tease the threads out of it. So I'm really just looking at pulling the threads out so that it's got a rough edge on it, and it'll come apart fairly easily. This one will. Some of them might not, but this is quite an open weave, this particular piece of fabric I've got here, so that when you pull the edges, you get, you know, a nice little rough edge on it like this. And of course, the more you can pull out as much as you want. The more you pull out, the more of an edge you'll get on it. So I've just put that out, and actually I'm going to pull a bit more of that stuff out of there. Oops. I've got some threads on the page. They might stick, doesn't really matter if they do, it'll just add to the texture. And I'm just going to put this down here, I think. So I'll get some more of my gloss medium out. See, I'm scraping it to the edge so that I've got my fringe there, and it'll be all stuck down, and I'll have that nice fringe on it as well. I've got a few more threads there, and the paint is actually coming through that, so that's quite nice, because obviously the gel is wet, so that's going to cause the paint to come through. I think that's quite good. I've got that woman and her little boy, and then I've also added another one of the men to create a little grouping of people. And the other thing I'm going to put down is I've got these Dina Wakley collage words. They're 3" by 3" printed tissue paper, and I've cut a piece off. I haven't used these much, and I just bought them because they were super cheap, and I thought, oh, they look interesting, so I thought I'd buy them and see what they're like. But because it's on white tissue, I'm cutting around that, and I'm very hopeful that if I put this here somewhere, that you're not going to see it as much as what you would, because it's on the white tissue. If it were stamped on a piece of white paper, obviously you're going to see it, but I kind of want it to blend into the background. I'm just working out where it's going to go, in case you're wondering why I'm moving it around everywhere. So I think I'm going to do it up here. And see, once you get it on there, you'll see that it'll all just blend in, and so you won't even be able to see that you've got it on a piece of tissue. Thanks for watching. This is Deborah. Till next time. Cheers.